In a world where Superman becomes a tyrant, what hope does the rest of the world have? Up next, Injustice on Impact Cartoons. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Impact Cartoons. Today we have a full house. It's been a while since we had a full house. We have two of our regulars, Chuck and Maul. Chuck and Maul, say hi to the peoples.
What's good? What's up?
Family. All right. And you have a special guest today, DJ Payne himself. DJ Payne, say hi to the peoples.
What's the word, everybody?
All right, DJ Payne is our first celebrity guest on here, so so we're gonna run with that. So Payne, tell the folks again, who you are, where they can find you.
DJ Payne, aka Payne Gretzky. I am 1/5 of the Sparring Minds podcast with Chuck down there, and then also I have a matchmaking podcast that we just did, which is part of the Sparring Minds network, called the Heart Boxing Podcast. So if anybody out there is looking for love, please hit us up at the Heart Boxing Podcast at gmail.com or the Heart Boxing Podcast on Instagram.
Fantastic. So if you guys are looking for love, you know who to look for. Go see Payne. All right. So just to get started here, we're looking at Injustice. Now, just to give you a little background here, Injustice, the Injustice animated film was an adaptation of the Injustice video game, which came out a bunch of years ago. The film was released in 2019. It's starring Justin Hartley as Superman. You may know Justin Hartley from Smallville playing the Green Arrow, or on This Is Us as Kevin Pearson. It also stars Anson Mount as Batman, and we know Anson Mount from in Black Bolt and Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and also as Captain Pyle, Pyle, I think is his name, in Star Trek: The Strange New Worlds. So, gentlemen, let's go ahead and jump right into this. This movie was, in my mind, one of the better movies I've seen come out, animated movies I've seen come out from DC in a while. This again being released in 2019 was part of that original DC slate of the New 52-ish kind of feel, but not quite a different universe from the New 52. Now, Payne, as our guest here, all right, we're going to have you get started. We're going to jump into the plot here. Give us your thoughts on the plot, the storyline. What were you thinking when you watched this?
So I was kind of caught off guard originally when Joker had the plan, and I'm thinking, usually when you see Joker, you're like, okay, he got something in store for Batman. So I was kind of thrown off by that, but it shows his genius because he turned the most powerful hero into the most powerful villain with his plan, which was crazy. So I was like caught, like I didn't answer my phone the whole time, nothing. So I was like, you know what I mean? So,
yeah, those first 10 minutes were something else. Maul, go ahead. Maul, what are your thoughts on the storyline?
I think it was brilliant. I mean, and definitely unexpected. The Joker definitely took a page out of what was his name? Two-Face.
yeah.
Yeah, he took a page out of that book and said, "Yeah, I did it before. I can do it again."
Chuck, what about you?
I think this is Adrian, you hit the nail on the head. This is some of DC's best work. Two things stand out. We're talking about the Joker here. Payne brings up a great point. The Joker, for all of his madness and all of his craziness, has to understand this is a suicide mission. He has to understand that Batman played by a certain set of rules that not everybody plays by. And if you piss Superman off, those rules change. And so he finds out very quickly, 11 minutes into the movie, that Superman don't play by those same Batman rules. Secondly, to the greatness of this film, we have two amazing plots happening in this movie at the same time. Yeah, we talked about Joker and him tricking Superman into that, That's a great story in and of itself. But then you get the second underlying story of Batman, Nightwing, Robin. That is a story in and of itself with its own plot developing underneath this. Incredible work. Can't wait to talk about this today.
So yeah, so 100% correct. So for me, right, it made me realize or think of the Joker has this philosophy, and you may have heard throughout the years that everybody is just one bad day away from becoming the Joker. Like he believed that anybody can become a quote unquote villain. It just takes one really bad day, and he proved himself right by doing this with Superman. Superman became this ultimate villain in this film. In which we're talking about there, Chuck, with the underlying the subplots, the secondary stories. So these are the things that obviously they couldn't put into the film, but they have, I think that was like a 12 issue run they had, or even more, maybe a 24 issue run they had for this Injustice storyline, because they did Injustice 1 and Injustice 2 storylines, and there was so much story there, and is so much more that obviously they couldn't put into this film, but it came out in the books. It was really, really interesting. So Chuck, we'll start with you here again. When it comes to the most memorable characters in this film, who jumps out to you?
I think I had two. Really. I mean, a Joker, obviously. I think every time we see the Joker, all of us as fans are enamored with what kind of stunt he's going to pull in this film and this story arc, right?
Yep.
But I think he actually gives us one of the really poignant quotes of this project, which is the discussion he's having with Batman. And he says, you know something? Every time you and I play, I lose. So I'm going to find someone else to pick on where I can get a victory for a change. And to say that he's picking on the most powerful man in the universe to get that victory is crazy, right? So that's one where the Joker is the Joker. He's always going to be paramount to what you're talking about in the storyline. But don't overlook the value of Wonder Woman in this story. Wonder Woman says to Batman, which is something that all of us have said as fans, how many times did you catch and he escaped and kill someone else? Pain tells me all the time, the definition of crazy is doing the same things and expecting a different result.
Yep.
Batman is crazy for expecting the Joker to change, and Wonder Woman paints that story in a dialogue they have.
No, actually, so to kind of pick up on that real quick, there is another animated film, I can't remember what it was called. At the end of the movie, Catwoman and Batman end up breaking up because she made that exact point. It's like, why didn't you kill him?
Yeah.
And she's like, I can't do this. And she says, you're crazy. This is the same thing you're doing over and over again.
That's it.
So it's actually a great point. Great point. Paul, what about you? Oh, so you said you had your two, right, Chuck? You had your
Joker
Okay.
and Wonder Woman. Yeah.
Joker, Wonder Woman. Okay. Paul, what about you? Who stood out to you as the most memorable character?
Oh, I would have to go with Deathwing.
Okay. Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know who Deathwing is, he is the what would you say, reincarnated,
Exactly what he is.
who was AKA the original Robin. Yeah, this show, this movie, like, goes into so many directions of just it's a clarity of where everybody stands in their heroism. You know, it gives a reality. Like, Joker threw this wrench into this whole superhero world, and it's a whole question of, okay, who are you really in this society that we call superheroes? You know what I mean? And that's really intense. Like you said, with Batman, you say this dude is crazy. He's crazy because he believes in the human justice system, right? And then you have these immortals, these gods, who are saying, dude, we've played by these rules for so long, only to realize that this don't work.
Yep.
Like, and we have the means to fix it. and to change it. The only problem is we got to go back on our word as to say that we would never use our godliness to govern humanity. And I think it's brilliant. I think it's what we were looking for.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And something that Rob Jefferson says all the time, right? From Comics Explained, big Rob Jefferson fan. I've mentioned him a few times on this channel, but I'll continue to mention him. He doesn't know me, but I know him. Is he always makes that point that that violence isn't always the option, isn't always the answer, but it is a answer, and it's usually an effective answer. And he always means this when he's referencing Batman and Batman not taking that final step, how he's a half measure, right? And taking these people out. So that's just something I wanted to throw in there as well. Kane, if I start for you, who is your most memorable character?
So I had a few. First of all, Joker, because of his evil genius. That was just like 10 minutes into the movie, and you get to see that, right? So him, Mr. Terrific.
Mr. Terrific, yeah.
Yeah. He was a memorable character for me just because I've never and I'm not a big comic person, so I never really seen him until yesterday. Ra's al Ghul, because he was the second most brilliant villain in that movie, because he saw a chance to hop on somebody else's coattails and piggyback off of their evil plan and get his into motion, right?
Yeah.
And then Plastic Man, of course, I didn't expect him to do anything at the beginning of the movie because it's Plastic Man, whatever. But he actually played a big part. And then lastly, for me, so this person ties in our first point kind of with this right here, right? Lois Lane. And for this reason, right, it ties into the whole Joker thing. He used what Superman loved the most as a detonator to wipe out the city that he lived in and loved.
Yeah.
Make him what he hated the most. So you use what he loved the most to make him what he hated the most, which was crazy.
That's crazy.
That's and 100% on point right there, because that was one of the things that kind of captured me with this film was that it was so well thought out, the way they kind of had it executed with the whole, again, the Lois Lane thing. You know, he lost his wife, he lost his unborn child, he lost his city. So for me, I will say the Joker was actually top of my list for most memorable characters. He's only in the film 11, 12 minutes, right? but what he did had such a ripple effect throughout the film that in the first 10 minutes, he killed Lois Lane. He killed Jimmy Olsen, Superman's one of Superman's best friends. He kills the Flash. He didn't even mention the fact that he killed the Flash in the first 10 minutes, and he killed the millions of people that live in Metropolis in the first 10 minutes of this film, which was crazy. So he was definitely top of my list. And my number 2 actually is Superman. So I'm going to the 2 of the bigger names here, but the Superman, I loved the way that you saw his mental state decline throughout the film, right? In the beginning, he was so conflicted about, what's right and what's wrong. If he's doing this for the betterment of the world. And at the end, he becomes petty and he kills dozens of kids partying in this rave, right? Kiss outside, he just plain kills them in front of Batman, because Batman couldn't do anything about it, but he kills them, and just because that they were dressed like the Joker. They were dressed like the Joker. They were had some reverence for the Joker, which was, to me, that was nuts. And I love the way that they portrayed him in this film. Let's jump into a little bit of the here. When it comes to art and animation, there's still a little different style. So I'll start myself here. It's a little different style for me, because it wasn't. If for those of us who watched the New 52 version of the DC animated universe, that it ended with Justice League Dark Apocalypse. I know Chuck loves that movie. Justice League Dark Apocalypse. It was like a 10-year run they had on that before they wrapped up in that movie. This came out as something totally separate from that. So the animation style for that and animation style for this was very, very different. This reminded me a little bit of Mighty Max, as a cartoon back in the 90s. They had those little toys. Mighty Max was a cartoon back in the 90s. The animation style there, I thought was pretty fluid. I liked the look of it, I liked the feel of it. I always go off of the action scenes because those are the ones that kind of give you the most dynamic movement. And I thought here they did a pretty good job of that. And I did one thing I didn't like was at one point in the very end, that fight scene, at the very end, you could tell the animation changed it up some. Like they went with a different type of animation. And probably about maybe a 5-minute window there before they kind of brought it back. So I'm not sure what caused that. If it was like a reshoot or something they had to do, but for the most part, I thought it was pretty interesting animation style. So Payne, let's go with you. What do you think? What's your thoughts on the art animation?
The animation was like top tier as far as I'm concerned. Like it was very well animated. The only complaint I had was that everybody else was well animated, and I felt like Plastic Man was very cartoony.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a cartoon, but I felt like Plastic Man was drawn differently
Mhm.
than everybody else. It was almost like if you're watching, and I know I'm sinning by comparing Marvel and DC right now, but it's like you're watching X-Men and then you slap Bugs Bunny into X-Men. Like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? So other than that, like I thought it was very well animated.
Nice. And I have to go back and check that out too. I didn't even notice that about Plastic Man. I'll take a look at that.
Yeah.
It was
Uh,
almost like lines were thicker or something like that. It's
It's true.
weird.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was.
I'll take a look at it. Yeah. Chuck, what about you? What were your thoughts on the arts animation?
A couple of things. I mean, again, and I've said it here on this show. I've said it in our eternal conversations before. DC gets it when it comes to arts and animation, right? They totally and they knock it out of the park more often than not. Adrian made the mention of Apocalypse. So we would be remiss if we didn't mention Matt Peters. Obviously, he's the director of this project. He was the director of Justice League Dark, Apocalypse War. So many similarities, but obviously, him being the director, under the layer, he's also the storyboarder. That's what he does as a nature, right?
Yeah.
And you see that in this project. You see the way those characteristics carry over into now directing the full project, is those special talents that come with that. One thing Adrian and I disagree on. Adrian's very big on the animation being tied to the action scenes. Not so fast, sir. I think that there are scenes where they could be super subtle and still give you a great feeling of the animation. Here's one. The I'm pregnant scene. Very early in the film.
Yeah.
Was with Clark and Lois. Great animation there. Capturing the facial expressions, capturing the emotions that are happening in that, the happiness, the glee, the future thoughts. That's great animation, right? It doesn't have to be buildings exploding for you to see animation. I think their job is to tell you a story with colors and stencils, and they did that there. So I think they do a great job from start to finish in giving us animation. Top shelf work.
All right. I hear you. Mal, what about you? Art animation.
I thought it was brilliant work with the animation. Especially in particular for this project. I mean, often when you're doing the Justice League, you deal with multiple characters. In this particular one, it went so off script from what they're used to doing that it stepped the animation game up, because you often have to create these individual stories and individual connections to all of these characters. And for me, I felt the animation on it was just spectacular. You know what I mean? Like even when they started going into like um Darkwing's death or whatever have you, going and
Yeah.
transitioning into like this immortal being who like, says, oh,
Yeah, Ramakrishna.
yeah, like that's just a whole nother scene going on there. And I'm like, whoa, okay. I didn't even know this side of story of Deathwing. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
okay, that's a whole nother level there of animation wise. So
Yeah.
yeah, I was digging it a lot.
Yeah, cool. So I like you guys, opinions. Obviously, my opinion's right. You guys are okay. but, but going to the next topic, our final topic for the day is the voice act. Now, this is obviously very key for a project like this. Um, is maybe if not the most important, one of the two most important parts of making an animated film, right? So Mal, let me start with you, Mal. What are your thoughts on the voice acting?
I loved it. I loved the voice acting. In particular, I loved Batman's son in terms of the voice acting.
Yeah.
He set this kid set a precedence of, I guess, the humanity side of choice.
Mhm.
You know, like he was setting the pulse of what side one could or should, or the debate of, are we on the right side? Are we on the wrong side? And our
Mhm.
own opinions of that situation. Like whoever did the voiceover for him, I think they did a real good job because they caught all the emotions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it was just like, yeah, Batman's my father, but he's wrong. You know what I mean? Like I'm with Sue. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? That young, overzealous, like, I want to take action. I want to make real change. And my dad is about this long, drawn out, overtime, like, just, we capture the bad guy, we put him away. We capture him again, we put him away. And he's like,
Rinse and repeat. Yeah, rinse and
hey,
repeat.
what are we? He said, though, his voiceover really carried that through, and I was like, wow, okay, yeah.
Nice. Nice. Good. Hey, what about you? What about the voice acting for you?
For the most part, I liked it. Like in my voice acting, I like more textures to play off each other. It was almost like everybody was on the same pitch or level for me. The only voice I didn't care for, I didn't really care for the Joker's voice, even though he was one of the most memorable characters. And I didn't care for Harley Quinn's voice.
Mhm.
But everybody else did a great job, I think. I thought Batman's voice could have been a little more raspy. And Ra's al Ghul, I thought he should have been a little more like raspy and dark too. Because if in the Gotham series and in the cartoons, he comes across as very dark, and his voice just didn't convey that to you. So,
Okay, no. Hey, you want to find darker, more gravelier voices in this. That makes
yeah, I need levels. Like it was almost
Yeah.
like you know what I mean. So
Yeah, I hear you. What about you, Chad? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's not often pain is right. But I tell you, and again, this project has been top shelf, really from top to bottom. Um, Kevin Pollak, voice of the Joker in this. You guys know Kevin Pollak from A Few Good Men, Usual Suspects. Normally, stand out. This time in the Joker, again, not bad. We've heard better Jokers. That's
Yeah.
we he mentioned Ra's al Ghul. That was my second example here. Farhad Tahir. We know for her for Iron Man, Escape Plan. Normally great work, right? I was meh on him. Here's the issue with voiceover work, and I highlighted these two for a reason. We care about the voice work on our villains. Our
Mhm.
heroes, okay, I don't care. I can go either which way. On
Yeah.
my villains, they need to give me an emotion. They need to give me fear. They need to give me diabolical. They need to give me something in that voice, and I didn't get it from two people I expected with the Joker and Ra's al Ghul.
I-
It's kind of where I lie on it.
Okay, I hear you.
Hey, before you go into your thing,
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I will give a benefit of a voiceover though to the conversation with Superman when they was having the chess game. I thought that was very it was very good conversation between the two.
Yeah, so we saw that was Eldris Hodge, right, playing Mr. Terrific in that chess game. We know him as being the Hawkman in the Black Adam film. He actually did a pretty good job of that, and uh, I thought voice acting wise, I mean, I'm with you guys. Like there were some voices that were kind of monotone a little bit, but I felt as a whole the voice acting in the project was pretty good. I think when it comes to the Joker, we usually think, of Mark Hamill, right? Mark Hamill's Joker. And you kind of wanted to go something a little different here, a little bit more subtle, because you wanted to make this one a little bit more real world. Is what they were going for. So I kind of get why they did it that way, why they went with this more subtle tone versus the Mark Hamill, crazy sounding Joker we used from the Batman anime series in the 90s. One other quick topic here. I didn't put this on your notes here in pre-production, but really quick, throw a scene out there for me that you felt was a great scene, one that maybe surprised you a little bit. Perry, you go real quick.
I would say the one Maul just mentioned when Mr. Terrific and Superman were playing chess, because honestly, I thought he was gonna join him. He was like, "Yeah, I'm not." So, like, I was like, "Okay, yeah."
And went to jail for that. By the way, he got locked up for not joining up. All right, Maul, what about you? A scene that kind of stuck out to you?
The reality that set in when the new young Robin actually hits Darkwing in the head with the stick.
Oh, you took mine.
Yeah, that was crazy.
You took mine.
Up, dude. You're thinking too fast. You go too far, and your luxury is that you live around superheroes who can catch your fall and fix your mistakes or whatever. But now you've hit a plateau as to you went too far, and now here's the result of, you're overzealous. You just killed your best friend. You know what I mean? You killed your brother. Like,
you killed your brother, yeah. No turn back.
That was the thing,
I'm with you. So Chuck, go ahead. Since Maul just stole mine, I have to come up with another one.
So I'm gonna have two. The first is we're 3 minutes into the film, maybe even 2, and Batman says, I need every Justice League member here now.
Oh,
this is top priority for a missing person. Now everybody is like, what are we talking about? A missing person? Batman quickly realizes that this missing person could change everything.
Mm-hmm.
This is a top priority. That's a critical scene, amazing writing, no more than 3 minutes into the film. That's top shelf work because they're foreshadowing to you what's going to happen here with this missing person.
Yep.
The second, 7 minutes into the movie, right? They kill Flash. Now, listen. You don't often see a superhero killed in the first 10 minutes of a movie. And if you didn't have any expectation coming into this film, not only to see a superhero killed, the Flash, 7 minutes in,
one of the main ones.
Set the precedent for what's happening over the next 90 minutes. Top shelf.
Anyone can get it.
Yep.
I promise you, what you didn't do is get up off your couch for the next 90 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. So for me, since mine was stolen, so I'm gonna go with when Superman realized what he had done. He's up above the world. He had that view of the world, and the thing that kind of encapsulates there is that his world just came crashing down. Mm-hmm. Right, his world is what's right in front of him now. When he pulls his fist from Lois and realized that he just killed his wife and child, that right there was a scene that really kind of stuck out to me as well as like this is hard hitting. This is not what I was necessarily expecting. Even for the most graphic of DC animated films I've watched, this was one that really was like, oh wow, okay, shocker. I don't know. Wait, what comes next? Right. So it's like wait, then you heard Batman's voice saying to the Joker, like, what did you do? Like, and it's like, what did you do? Like, this takes it to that next level. Yeah. All right. So that's it for me for questions, fellas. Like,
You gotta spin the block on this. You gotta spin the block, Adrian, because we can't get out of here just like that.
So I was coming back to you. Any other thoughts, fellas, before we leave this? When we leave,
I want you boys to take a trip down memory lane with me, and let's watch this movie again. And if I said to you, Joker killed 11 million people in this movie.
Yeah.
As DC Comics go, you say, oh, I get it. That's some Joker thing.
Yeah.
If I said to you, number 2 on that list was Superman, and he killed 134 people in this movie. With the plot the way it is, okay, I can get it. In your wildest guess, would Amazo be number 3 on the killer list in this film? Absolutely not.
No, not at all.
Absolutely not. And yet Amazo kills, again, 3 people, but 3/3 on the list in this kind of film where you have Solomon Grundy and you have some beasts in this film.
Oh yeah.
And Amazo's the guy who's 3rd on the hit list.
So I mean, I'm with Chuck. If there was a DraftKings list, Amazo's odds would be like 1,000 to 1 out of everybody. So I would not have. I probably would have picked them to try to hit a big jackpot, but nah.
Yeah.
Amazo was he was on my list either as far as who was up next as far as killing.
And he didn't kill chumps. I mean, Hawkman, Cyborg, he killed some heavy hitters. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean that just jumps out to me as the gravity and the depth of the storytelling in this. I was pleased.
Same. Is it disturbing to you guys that?
Wait, Ma, are you eating on camera?
That's ice. Even though Joker literally kills 11 million people, Batman still takes him back to Arkham. That's disturbing. Like, there's something wrong. Like that Arkham is not gonna keep this dude, and yet you keep bringing him back there. Like,
oh man, like you're 100% right.
But that ties back into Chuck's point earlier when he said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over, expecting a different result, right? The person.
My thing is the overall is does Batman really care about saving lives, or does he just care about capturing the Joker?
He's about the mission, right? That's always been about the mission. His mission has always been to not kill and to imprison and to have the system do what the system does. So
let him back out.
You basically, yeah. He's kind of stuck. He's mentally stuck in this place where he can't get himself to kill or be part of someone being killed, right? At least not this version of Batman. So I get where you're coming from, and you're 100% right. When you think about it, like, you just killed 11 million people. You probably should get in the chair, right? But you're going to take him back to Arkham to
he's supposed to be the smartest superhero of all of DC superheroes. And this dude, I don't understand when it comes to the Joker. Like, you can create a prison that can hold this dude. You got the money. Like, you can personally take him and put him aside and just keep him someplace where he cannot do anything.
So you make a point there that I want to, and we'll tie after this, Dre.
Mm-hmm.
How much? I'm going to say specifically to Jamal's point, but it's a wider ranging question over the course of the film itself. How much of this did you actually find yourself disagreeing with Superman over the course of this movie? I didn't. He went into Arkham Asylum and said, "Listen, you guys ain't getting out of here again. I'll fix this." And Cyborg's going to put you in a place where nobody can find you, right? And I said, go for it, right? So I didn't understand why Batman would come down and say, "You're not taking him from Arkham Asylum." What are we talking about?
Yep. So we've been talking about the asylum, right? And I just made the insanity point again, right? Are we missing like an underwritten or underlying point that Batman is actually the one that's insane and keeps escaping the asylum
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just about to go there. I was just about to go there. Like
He's the only
I've
one
never
doing
thought of
crazy
that.
shit. Like, okay, we're gonna. He got out again. Let's put him back. Let's put him back. Like, no, you're the one that's crazy. Stop putting him in there. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? Kill him.
yeah, he's not right in the head. He's also not right in the head. Like he's just as insane as the people he puts in there.
Right.
The question comes up all the time is Batman responsible for the people that Joker kills or any criminals kill after he puts them in there knowing they're going to get
Yes.
back out?
Yes.
Yeah,
I think so.
Is he
indirectly.
responsible for it?
Yes,
He's
he
indirectly responsible for it.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
an
it's not
accessory.
indirect. Yeah, absolutely. You're an accessory now at this point. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
So we all agree that if Batman were to kill the Joker, and save someone's family from dying, then that's not a bad thing.
Or say 11 million people.
11 million people. Guess me, had he killed the Joker, right? To kill the Joker like years ago, 11 million people in Metropolis will still be alive. I'm just saying, I don't condone violence, but I'm just saying. this is my thoughts are.
Absolutely.
All right. So before we sign off, any final thoughts, those?
I don't agree with part of what Superman did. I'm with Chuck. I was kind of with Superman for most of it, but when he killed all them kids, I was like,
Yeah,
I can't rock with him on that.
a step too far.
That's when I knew he was losing. When he did that, I was like, yeah, he lost it.
before. Maul, what about you? Final thoughts?
Woo. Go see it. It's an amazing cartoon. Like you will definitely see another side of DC that is unreal. Yeah.
All right. Chuck, how about you?
16 dead superheroes. Flash is dead in the first 7 minutes. The main villain in the story is dead in 13 minutes. 11 million total people. Like, I don't know what more you want in an action film. This one delivers. It's DC's best work. Come on, man.
I agree with you. Listen, fellas, thank you guys for jumping in here and helping out on this one. Shout out to Chuck, Maul, and Payne, our special guests. As always, folks, remember to like, subscribe, do whatever. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Peace.
Free audio post-production by Alphonic.com.